Getting on, doing a bit of framing and a bit of boarding over. I did get this hole wrong here, so I did have to do away with that light. One of your old-fashioned type vents, nothing fancy, fluffy stuff in. Yeah, it's me bundle of wires there. That whole piece there is up from the very top. That's all covered. I've run some more wires, got them looped up here. They're ready to drop down to there. Yeah, so I've got some cables hanging there. What I'm going to do now, unless that cut out, I don't know if I put that in the other video or not. That's all cut out around there now. Just got to figure a way of extending it. So what I'm now looking at is, this is where I'm going to put a beam across here, or a joist for the bed. Like I say, I've already put some riv nuts in, and there were one at each end which were existing. The only problem is they're not all on the same not all on the same level. Right, so these end ones are, I've got these right up against those two right up against the wood. So these end ones are slightly higher, and these middle ones are slightly lower. See, I haven't even got a bolt in there because it won't go. So first of all, I think I'm going to mark on this piece of wood. What I'll do, I'll just put it that way on, and I'll just mark where all those fixing points are, and then I'll just have to calculate, get a centre line down and work out how far off centre these odd ones are. I have seen people do this with Play-Doh, putting lumps of Play-Doh on the wood. Seems like a hassle to me, not a very accurate way of doing it. So yeah, what I'm going to do is just mark the centre lines and then calculate the up and down bit. So that's what we'll get on and do now. There we are, so that all marked out. I've just recessed the, and drilled as well, recessed these bits here so they'll go over the riv nuts easily. Yeah, this end, these two are 5mm high, and this end, these two were 3mm high compared to the centre line of this. So I've drilled that as accurately as I can. Hopefully that'll fit alright. I couldn't find my 8.5mm drill, so I've had to use an 8mm. So let's just hope that that lines up okay. Yeah, and this side I've just bored them a little bit so the head will sink in. I did get these 60mm, but they're going to be too long because you can. I just test fitted one and you can feel the insulation starting to wrap around the back, so I'm going to put shorter ones in. But this is actually just relying on the not so much the strength of the bolts in the nuts, but the actual force against here. The clamping force, that's the word I'm looking for. It's relying on the clamping force against there to give it the strength, and there'll also be a strut down at each end anyway. Right, so let's have a go at bolting this on. There's the first bed rail put in, support. That's well clamped to there. That won't be going anywhere. I will put some bits up either end in the corners. More than anything, to make it easier to fix a board to the back there. Because there's nothing here now. Like, well, I suppose there is a little bit there. Possibly could fix direct into the metal work. Definitely can at the back there. there's not a lot. Might be possible, I don't know, I have to see. Yeah, jury's out on that one. I'm going to put a board in there, but at least that first one is up. I did get this hole wrong here, so I did have to slot it and use a slightly larger washer. Yeah, that's on there. A little bit more progress. Just built this frame just to attach my my plywood to down the bottom there, and also something to build off when I box in the wheel arch. So that's in below there. Yeah, that's just, I just use self-tappers, fix it direct into the steel. And I've also just run a couple of battens up there. Bottom ones I've self-tapped, top ones I've just got some, stuck them on with some Sikaflex. Yeah, because they're quite close to the roof there. I didn't want to risk going through with the drill, so once that stuff go off, that'll be strong enough. Yeah, so I can then run a board straight the way across there, bridge this piece here, cover that up, got another wire there to put in. Yeah, that's me bundle of wires there. Well, I've still yet to run them down there. I've got some thicker trunking to put down, conduit rather, to put down there. But yeah, I just want to get that piece in. Anything I've got to do yet is just screw these to the floor. These bits, bottom bits. That one there, I shall have to put a piece of wood in, like that, just to hold that back, or to fix to rather, because there's a gap in the floor there. Right, I think that'll do for a day. Yeah, got some plywood there for that. So I shall probably, well, either tomorrow or the day after, I shall get that on there. Yeah, and it's pitch black out there. Right, so better unplug, take everything in. Been getting on, putting a little bit of plywood up, a bit more light on it. So, and also done there at the bottom, put some ply over that framework that I put in. So that's all covered over. I've just got to drill a hole there for a vent, because obviously when this gets boxed in, this wheel arch, that's going to block that off, so I need to just drill a hole there. Yeah, so I'll put a frame in the bottom half here behind that ply, which obviously brings that up nearly level with this. But to retain the depth here, I've had to fix this direct to the where I could, direction to the steel cross members and that, which is how the white plastic like that was fitted, same as that one that side. And I actually used the plastic piece as a template for cutting this piece of ply out. Yeah, obviously it hasn't gone back as far as the plastic one does. This doesn't sit so far here, for instance, because my original plan was just to, at the top here, I was going to just varnish the bottom wood, because it's going to be under the bed in this sort of garage area, so it doesn't need to be carpeted or anything really. Yeah, so I was going to put 4-way stretch carpet over here. You know, obviously that would just go over these pieces, cover all that up, straight over onto there. But I think to keep my options open, so I might actually even paint it rather than put four-way stretch. This is going to be the bed here. So what I think I need to do is actually frame this out on the outside, so I can then go off here and fix my top piece. So it'll be all wood rather than carpet. If you see what I mean. Just gives me a little bit more option. Yeah, so I can get some up the side there as well, obviously in there, which will actually make it easier to cover over here and get a flatter surface to work on. In fact, if you weren't worried about the extra depth here, that's only like an inch or so, if you weren't worried about that, it would be much easier just to frame top to bottom one piece. You'd lose some width, in the van, that's the only thing. Yeah, it would be much easier to just go straight up and do all that section in one complete panel. That would be the easy way to do it. That obviously with the bed going crossways here, kind of need every little bit you can get, so hence setting this one back a bit. Won't matter at the top and won't matter at the bottom. Yeah, so that is the little job for today. Excuse me. Yeah, just to frame that round, and then got to work out what I've got to do here, because I need to keep this piece open. The little fixings are in here somewhere. One there, there's one there, there's one down here somewhere, which actually hold the light unit in, so you need to have access to them. Top bit doesn't matter, so that could all be sealed in. I'll get under here, I put some insulation behind here, but I just need to kind of seal that in there. Might even drop that down a little bit further and seal it there. Yeah, and all that has got to be done across the top there. You can see the condensation in there. Absolutely dripping. So I need to get all that out and seal all that up, get some insulation in. But before I do that, I need to get some batten along here as well, and probably do away with that light. I don't think I'll be using that, because what I want to do the idea is you do get a little bit of draft through this door here. I think that's a little bit out of shape in the middle there, so what I want to do is completely board across the back from here on the top, right the way across. Kind of separate it all. That'll mean I have some for anything high, and probably even get the chairs in there, which is what I did in the Vivaro. I had the chairs behind a piece of wood, a low down the bottom. Yeah, so it gives you some sort of tool storage between the wood that's going to go here and the door. Yeah, so that's what one idea. I've just got to work out how to do that. So obviously I need to miss all these things up here, work all around that, figure out these corners, rounded corners. Always a problem in a van. Yeah, so I've got a few little bits to get on with. First thing I'm going to do is, before I forget, put that vent in down there, and then have a go at framing. Yeah, so onwards and upwards. Got a piece in the bottom here, which is somewhere near the thickness of the slats that I'm going to have, so that will level off when I come off here with the frame for the bed, which is going to be one of the last things I'm going to be able to do, because I need the space in here to work, so I can't do the bed until last thing really. Right, I've got an upright on there, that side, and I'm going to have to fix to this steel up here for the next bit to that, and this end, because that cuts in quite a way. I've just had to I need to get this light set up on this, hanging from the ceiling somehow really. Yeah, I've just cut that as a wedge shape, so that will fit in there, fit up there when it goes in, fit tight to that. Right, so yeah, slowly getting there. Yeah, I would set my tripod up, but the trouble is it's just going to be in the way. What I really need is a load of steel in here, a mag mount for the old camera. I could probably film some stuff happening while I do it then. Yeah, oh, I've just run an extra piece of wire, so they will link in. I'll have a light in the middle here, and I think I might actually run, because I'm going to be, I think it's going to be a piece of wood to run along here, thicker than this, is going to stand out more. So I'm either going to run a LED strip along the bottom or along the top, either an up lighter or a down lighter, not quite sure which, but that's what this is going to be for, this wire. Yeah, so let's just run behind here, in there behind that insulation. Yeah, right, I'll do it all. There we are so far. Just now putting this piece along the top here, pull the wires through for that, wires through for the LED strip. Yeah, so that's, I've just used drywall screws actually to fix that up there. Yeah, just had to cut a little piece out there, so that would go around this beam here, and a little notch out there just to get around that. Yeah, so there isn't actually, oh, I can hold that light some out. Yeah, it's not actually any fixing on this piece at the top, so I'm going to have to figure out something there. Although I probably am going to put a little shelving unit or little cupboard up the top here, so there'll be a piece of wood across there anyway, and time that's framed out, that should all hold that in place. Yeah, I don't know if my screen is misting up. I think it is. Yeah, but yeah, that's kind of that side, apart from the wheel arch bit. That's more or less that side done. Oh, there's my little vent I've put in. It's near like a drop vent I've used in there. Yeah, I've got to cover that as well. Blocked all that off in there, and I've blocked all that off up there. I didn't see that. Yeah, so that bit, I don't know whether I shall put any, might just stuff some up the back there. Oh yeah, there's a hole there actually. Yeah, I'll have to stuff some up the back and seal this piece off as well. Yeah. Right, I've just made up this frame for the roof vent. That's just some of that 25 by 38 timber. Yeah, so that fits through there. Okay, this is just one of your old-fashioned type vents, nothing fancy, but they work. So yeah, and I've just marked up here, you see them red marks there, and there. So I'm going to put it off to one side because I've got the flat, that'll be flat all the way around then, without any ribs. Put it central, you end up putting it over a rib, so yeah, just off to one side, that'll be fine like that. Yeah, and I'm just keeping an eye at the weather to see whether I dare drill it or not. But I'm going to have to have a quick clean on the roof first because it's all green. But yeah, we'll see. That may or may not happen today. I don't know. I'd like to get it done because I can finish off the insulation on this piece then. Yeah, let's have a look. One roof vent fitted. I must have done that in record time because that, you can see the colour of the sky up there, it's pretty grey. It was just a few light clouds when I started. So that sort of spurred me on a little bit. Yeah, it didn't rain, so as yet. But yeah, that is in. So hopefully now I can get on with the rest of this insulation up this end, and with all this extra ventilation, hopefully I won't get so much condensation in here. Yeah, so I've got that one there, and I've got this one which is just a little mushroom vent up there. So between the two of them should have plenty of ventilation. There is a fly screen to go over here, but I've just left it off now. They're quite fragile, so I didn't really want to have it out here while I was working. I've just used these multi-purpose screws to fix that on for now, but I have got some stainless steel self-tappers on order, which I'll, as soon as they turn up, I'll replace them. So yeah, what we did, well, obviously just I marked it out, drilled a 8mm hole in each corner just to get rounded corners. Went along with the old thingy, the old saw. Cut the hole out, filed the I thought there'd be a file up there for a minute. Oh, there it is. Just took the burrs off either side, and to actually fix that I used this this mastic. Got this roll of mastic, which is what I also used to put that one in, and I have just gone round with some Sikaflex just to make sure. Although probably would be perfectly fine with the mastic, that's non-setting stuff, it's really soft. But yeah, best not to have a leak. Yeah, so the frame, once I got the outer piece in, the wooden frame, I just put some Sikaflex around that just to hold it in place until I screwed up the this inner piece. So this sandwiches together. You tighten these screws up and it pulls everything tight. Yeah, so I'm quite pleased I've got that done, because yeah, I wasn't looking forward to doing that actually. Yeah, I've done the little mushroom vents before, but nothing this size. I've done windows, but for some reason, I don't know, more worrying when you're cutting holes in the roofs and the, in the roof of your van than it is in the sidewall. Yeah. So, yeah, I've got a few little bits of moisture up here. I shall dry them up and then I shall get some of this stuff on. Then the next thing will be getting some wood along these beams. I have put some riv nuts in there just to hold it up, because that is it's not flat, you know, it's bowed. Probably looks more bowed on this camera. It's a little, you know, fisheye camera. Yeah, once I get those on, I can then get the fluffy stuff in, wherever that is. Oh, that stuff there. Get that in, and then get some roof on there, or some sealing rather, sealing up. Oh yes, once that is up, some of the old bubble stuff, some of that, just to seal it in. Although actually this, put this up and seal all this in, it should stop, or not stop, should reduce condensation, because you've got a not so much of a change in temperature. If you feel, put your hand on there, that feels quite warm. Touch that, that's really cold. So you don't get such a differential in the temperature, so you shouldn't get so much condensation. But I will seal it all in just to make sure. Yeah, that might seem a little bit excessive, putting all this right the way over. Most people probably don't. I think they just put strips in of the sound deadening stuff. But yeah, just to make sure. Yeah, and then once that's done, I can start filling the rest of these up. Do this other bit, although I can't do where the window's got to go until the window is in. But yeah, it is all coming along. Oh yeah, also forgot to mention, just painted the cut edge after filing it, just painted it with some white hammerite, just to protect the edge of the metalwork, the bare metal. So yeah, that should all be good.